Hello, we are Sornia. As always, it is a pleasure to be here. It is a pleasure to have this opportunity to have this exchange, share what it is that we know, and to support you. So, we hope that all of you are feeling a little bit of release from the tensions that we're building for a while. It's a very brief release. We want to just chat a little bit about this right now because it will help you to understand how things are progressing and if there's anything that you can do that will keep that going beyond what you're already doing. So we do want to acknowledge that, like we do every time. We want to share this with you because we understand that being in human form doesn't always let you understand how much impact you're having and how wide and how deep and all of that. But it is. What you have all done and are doing continues and will continue to assist in the pathways in being able to bring more and more of the divine light to the divine nature of who you really are to permeate your planet. And it is. It doesn't seem that way sometimes. You've been dealing with a lot of tension that we know that it's there. It's part of the process. So what we want to talk about very briefly is the fact that you on the planet, you're a part of the whole ecosystem. You are that. You are not separate from, you are a part of everything that is on your planet, as everything is a part of everything else. You are all feeling that connection even stronger. In particular, those of you who take the time to take care of yourselves, you're feeling the connection with nature more profoundly. You should be, because that is what is one of the benefits, if you will, of having this expanded awareness and the higher vibration that you have at this time, is that you are able to have this exchange with everything that you call nature. And we're not just talking about the animals, we're talking about all aspects of nature: the wind, the sun, the rain, the trees, the grass, everything is becoming clearer. It's becoming more in alignment with what it was for you at the beginning of humanity's journey on the planet. So you're recognizing this. Many of you are feeling the benefits, the joy of having a deeper and more profound feeling with nature. We're not talking about what goes on in your mind, but we're talking about what you feel. So it's real, and many of you are able to communicate effectively with your pets, and you are learning to know them. They know you, and that exchange is really quite deep. It's profound. It's beautiful. But you don't have to have a pet in order to have that exchange. And that is what we're talking about here right now in these words, so that you know that you want to look for the changes in your understanding of the nature of reality, because that is what we spoke to you about a while back, that you would start to see and understand and sense the nature of your reality in its truth, in what it really is for you, more as an eternal being than as a human being. And that's what's happening. So this expanded awareness that many of you are thrilled that is going on with your exchanges with nature is because of that higher vibration that you have, and that ability to actually be in that vibration more than you are in the lower vibration. Okay, that lower vibration, that there's a lot of negativity, a lot of blockages there, a lot of limitations in that lower vibration that is also on your planet. So you have both going on right now, but all of you are expressing yourselves more clearly, more in alignment with the eternal you. You are understanding that you are an eternal being having a human experience. We don't want to say separating, because it's not a separation. It may feel like a separation from your human self, but it's not. It's seeing your human self with the eyes of the eternal you. That's what's going on. So this time period can be very enlightening. It can be very encouraging. You may feel more thoughtful. You may feel more introspective, but there are lots of ways that you will respond to this, and you want to be able to respond to it in your own way. So follow through and allow that to happen, because we wanted to talk about the harder part of this time period, because it really is a split down the middle energetically. So there are all of those that we are speaking to that are feeling lighter, they're understanding their true nature more, everything that we just talked about. There are many of you, and you're coming together more, you're sharing what you know. More than anything, you're sharing your energy in the sense of who you are, the nature of who you really are. You're sharing that with the world by going out to the world with the intention of being a beacon of light and hope for the divine. And that is what you are doing, and it's working. But there are many still that are, and you've been influenced by it as well, the tensions that are created by what we call the third dimensional reality. So what's happening, so we can kind of maybe put this in perspective, why you may be feeling in one way part of life, but in a lot of other ways feeling like you are separate from so many people in life itself, because you're seeing it differently. So those of you who have continually dedicated yourselves to your own understanding of who you are, you have a different view of things. You see and sense things in a different way that's of a higher vibration than many on your planet. And more, again, are awakening. But there is a line, a division. And we spoke to you about this a while ago. Choose love or choose fear. So those of you, and there would not be any really who hear these messages at this time or have been, that we would say are choosing fear. Most of you are choosing love. At times you fall into the fear, but that's normal. But there are many who are still choosing fear, and that is in that third dimensional reality that you still have a foot in there. And part of you is in there. You're still interacting in there. Your physical being is still there. Your consciousness is there, but your consciousness is also well aware of its true nature. Well, it always was, but you in human form with that consciousness understand more what your true nature is, as opposed to those who have chosen fear as their answer in response, we should say, to the events going on. Those individuals, their consciousness is deeply embedded in the vibration and frequency of fear. Now, we gave you the background on vibration and frequency, so you would be prepared for this. What you will be encountering, we believe, and again, maybe not, we don't know, but you will be encountering more of that energy that is strictly confined to the third dimensional reality that you still are a part of, but you are in it, but it's not part of you, but you're still participating in it. You're going to feel it, and it's going to be manifest in many different ways, because there are many fearful events that are being projected out, and many of those that have not the awareness that you have will succumb to that fear, and the consequences of that might very well be lots of anger, lots of lashing out, and a lot of very self-righteous behavior will probably be what you will have to experience. Now, again, we don't want to condition you by saying this or that or the other thing is going to happen, and then you're only looking at something in that way. Remember, you are the ultimate judge, each one of you. You observe your life from your perspective, and you make these decisions on what's going on, and that's how you're going to influence it. But remember, what we're seeing right now in terms of those who are deeply embedded still with just a third dimensional vibration, that is, they haven't been able to access yet the higher vibration of who they are, that consciousness. They haven't been able to do that. Many of them will start to experience the anger and the frustrations, and there may be difficult times ahead from their perspective. You may be the observers and see what is going on, and then that is what you will want to do. Make a choice here. Will you succumb to the fear of what their reaction is, or will you stay in that place of love and connected to Source, God, Creator, knowing that this needs to happen in order for each human being on this planet that you are on to make a decision for themselves of what they will choose to believe. So this is really coming to a head, if you will. We don't know when, we don't know how intense, we don't know. We are just seeing it's already going on. Many of you are already seeing this for yourselves. So again, we want you to be the masters of your own destiny, of your own selves. And you are already, but to know that you are masters. So as these events are occurring, and some of you have already experienced them in what you might call minor ways, but they're significant because they're contributing to the whole, and they are a reflection of this angst and anxiety and anger that is so prevalent. It's really coming to a head. Those of you who can see that and can sense it, you have even more of a responsibility to yourselves and to the rest of humanity, because remember, you are all one, to hold that light of compassion, unconditional love, and acceptance. Hold that. And so that we here on the other side, if you will, all that is divine can come through in those energetic pathways and help these individuals who are what we would call lost. Now, again, we are not looking down on anyone. We are not judging anyone. You have all contributed to the greater good in many, many ways, but it may get a little rough here. So you want to really get yourself strong, both physically, mentally, from the heart. Get yourself strong in what it is that you know, because should things unfold in a way that seem disturbing for the masses that are still entrapped, you will all be the key to helping them awaken. That is what seems to be the way that things are going. Many of you believe that we decide that. We here in spirit, your spirit guides, God, Creator, He, she decides these things. It's not the way it works. It's all through what you are doing, what we are doing, and how we are holding to the truth of who we really are that determines the outcome of things. So, yes, we know that at times you are going through different phases, like this last one where there was a lot of tension for a lot of you, feeling it, really squeezing it. The tension wasn't sent as a way to punish you or whatever. It's part of a plan, a greater plan, and it's part of evolution that you are giving birth to something new, and this is the process that it goes through. You conceive it as being tension, or you conceive it as being not fun or not good, but that's because you're still connected to the human part of you that judges everything on whether it's comfortable, it's good, uncomfortable, it's bad. So you're working through that also at this time, along with those who are completely unaware of their true nature. You're working on understanding that something that's uncomfortable isn't bad. It's just uncomfortable. And you want to just experience whatever it is so that you can glean from it what it is that is of value to you. And that's what's going on right now. So it's a little bit of a teeter-totter, if you will, of emotions. Some days you may start the day feeling pretty upbeat and positive, and then feel yourself being strangled, if you will, or tightened by tension. And that's when you want to say, oh, this is uncomfortable. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It means I have to move it through. So again, you know this, but we're telling you this again because you may succumb to the uncomfortable feeling because it will touch each one of you in your most vulnerable areas, because that's just the way it works. Because your most vulnerable areas are the areas that in your emotional and physical body, because some of you may not have the emotional discomfort, you may have the physical discomfort. And in that process, where do you put your faith and trust? That's key. And what do you believe? That uncomfortable is bad? And that only if you're comfortable, it's good? What if it's flipped? What if it's neither of those? What if it's all just what it is? So you're going to, hopefully, we believe you will, be mastering another level of understanding of who you are in human form once again. And as you do that, you will be helping once again those who are completely unaware. Now you're working with the very dense ones. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that in the sense of those who really are engulfed in a state of fear. Those individuals that are tied very deeply to a state of fear and a state of lacking understanding and awareness. These are the next ones that you will be working with, again, at that soul level to help awaken them. But because they're so deeply enmeshed in the third dimensional belief structure and limitations of it, you will be feeling it. And that is why we have come forward at this time to say, hold to your truth. Know that. Most of you know it already. Hold to that. When someone does something that can cause you to feel a certain degree of discomfort or anger, it triggers something in you, remember, take care of that within your own energetic system, but find the compassion and love. Connect it to that person, because now is the time. We are many here on the other side. More and more are showing up, because as the other dimensional realities that have been going through the same experience as Earth in terms of awakening, and the beings that are on those planets, as they are freed from their path and they are finding freedom, more are joining us here as support for all of you. So you will be feeling us in greater numbers. Each of you has more than one being on this side that is there for you specifically. That is your, you call it spirit guides. We say it's part of your group. It's your team. Each of you has more than one, but you have at least one. Everyone who hears this message. So do those individuals who are completely wrapped up in the third dimensional limitations and those limiting beliefs. Those too have many beings of light here. So you remember that. Know we are in greater number than we have ever been, and that it is our time, meaning yours and ours, to very gently but with determination, move through this next phase. You will be going through different phases, but you're shifting the boundaries of the limitations that have been placed on all of you. That barrier keeps weakening, and more of the limitations and the difficulties and the fears and the anger, more of that is being exposed. That's why you're seeing it even more. And we've spoken to you about this, but just to bring it up again. So hang in there. More than hang in there, be active. It's okay to stand back and not speak what it is that you believe, but be what it is that you believe. Be that. Be that every moment. Set that as your intention. Be that unconditional love and acceptance. Be that compassion. Be it. And you're going to want to be it, not with the ones that are easy, but you want to be it with the ones that are difficult. For you, difficult. Because those are the ones that need it the most. Those are the ones that need that understanding. Not everyone will be receptive to it. Not everyone will be open to it. But everything is shifting. It's happening quickly. Maybe you don't feel like it's happening quickly, but it is happening quickly. And we are in greater number than ever before. All of us. We're in this together. We're all doing as much as we can. And therefore, take that time to honor that within yourselves. Remember that. Take time to take care of yourselves. Honor that within yourselves. But know that you aren't done yet. Not with what you have to do. But it's exciting. It's an exciting time. And you will have a lot that you will be able to reminisce, if you will, about when this is all said and done and you look back. And you can see what you have done, and you will be very pleased with that. Everything will come to light. Everything. That is why it's important for you to know yourselves and to be that. Because you will be shown that. You will see it. Why not be that? Because that's what you're going to want to see. What do you want to see at the end of your period of time in this earth reality that you are in? What do you want to see? What do you want to step back and really, what do you want to see? When you see the truth of your existence, what is it that you want to know? What is it that you want to see and say, yes, that was me, and feel good about it? That's what you're deciding right now. But be, for what you want for yourself, that forgiveness and that tolerance, be that for others. Very important time. Very, very important time. The next few months are very important in that regard. So hold it. You will be tested. You're already being tested and you know it. And you will be tested. We don't doubt because we are in greater number. And all of you have stuck through this up till now. You'll see it through till the end. As always, it is such a pleasure to be able to communicate with all of you. Know that we are there with you. We say this all the time, but really know it. You are all becoming stronger, more unified, more in touch with the truth of who you are. And nothing can stop that from expanding and becoming your world that you exist in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. And as always, thank you for everything that you're doing. We are Sornia. We love you very, very much. Goodbye.